Welcome to my kitchen, everyone. One of the things that I like to do before getting ready to spend some time in the kitchen is to throw on one of my aprons. Not only because I do tend to get more than a little messy, but it also just allows me to become fully present, acknowledging that I am here cooking in my kitchen. Sometimes I'll also turn on a little music in the background to kind of set the ambiance as well. This morning I'm making a cast iron apple oatmeal custard. Oatmeal is so good for you, and it's highly nutritious and filled with antioxidants, and it's even thought to lower cholesterol levels. But I really don't like oatmeal that's made simply the traditional way. And if you don't buy the whole oats like these, you'll find that many of the oatmeal packets are loaded with refined sugars, which I do try to avoid. I also like to make myself some kind of hot beverage to sip on while I'm creating in the kitchen. I like to use whole leaf teas as it seems there are endless varieties to try, and I can combine different types or add things to them, like the little lemongrass shoots that I snipped from my lemongrass plant this summer. I stored these in a little plastic bag in the freezer, and they've been great to add to herbal or green teas. I find that my little gooseneck kettle really makes me slow down and appreciate the process. Making a cup of tea is actually one of the things that reminds me to come back to the present moment. I watch the leaves unfurl and the steam rise up from the mug, and because the gooseneck slows down the flow of the water, it just slows down the time needed to make a cup of tea and invites me to appreciate the process. I like overnight oats, but this time of year I prefer to have something warm and comforting. So lately I've been experimenting with baked oat recipes, including this apple oatmeal custard one that I'm sharing with you here today. After you core and cut 2 medium-sized apples into slices, you'll want to cut small slices of about 2 tablespoons of butter and put them in a medium-sized cast iron skillet. Turn your burner or flame on a medium to low temperature to melt your butter. You might need to pick it up and swirl it around a little. Then begin placing your apples in a single layer in the pan. When practicing mindfulness in the kitchen, try to use all 5 senses. Listen to the butter beginning to sizzle. Focus on your sense of touch, the cool feel of the apple slices as you lay them in the pan, and at the same time noticing the heat rising back up. And if you allow yourself to slow down and watch, you'll see the butter change color, and eventually the apples begin to do so as well. While your apples are caramelizing, you can chop up a half a cup of some kind of nuts. I usually like to either use pecans or walnuts in this recipe. Here is another opportunity for using your 5 senses. The sound of the blade hitting the nuts and the board, the change of the texture of the nuts, and even the temperature of these. I like to store mine in the freezer, so these are quite cold. At some point, you'll notice the aroma of the apples as they begin to caramelize in the pan. When they are a nice golden brown, you can remove them from the burner and begin to add the rest of your ingredients. We'll use 1 cup of whole oats for this recipe. You can see that I store my oats in a glass jar. I like to do this with a lot of my dry goods, as not only do they store well in this type of container, but I like being able to easily see what's inside the containers, and they just have a nice, clean, organized feel in my kitchen. You can simply sprinkle the oats right on top of the apples, or you can mix them with some cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little salt, and then cover the apples with the mixture. Today, I'm just adding everything directly into the pan. You can add the nuts to the top at this point, and if you like raisins, these are great to add in now as well. I'm just going to sprinkle a good amount of cinnamon on the top here today. I use about a half a teaspoon in total. You can add a little salt if you like, and then some nutmeg too. You can use nutmeg that's already grated, but I kind of like the process of grating my own. And this is another really great opportunity for tuning into the movements of your hands, as well as the sharp smells of the cinnamon and freshly grated nutmeg. I'll show you what it looks like at this point. Whoops, that didn't go really well. That's okay though, I'll just spread it right back out. Next we'll mix 1 1/4 cups of oat milk, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla. I recently tried oat milk for the first time and I have fallen in love with it. Many people, including myself, have some sensitivity to cow's milk, and I've tried all sorts of milk substitutes, but most of them seem thin and watery to me. I love the creaminess of the oat milk, and then after I found out that it actually foams really well for making hot drinks, I definitely decided it was going to become a staple in my kitchen. If you decide to give it a try, I'd just be sure to try and read the labels though, as some of the brands have quite a high sugar content. This Planet Oat brand is one of the ones that does have a lower sugar amount when you compare it to the others that I've found in my local grocery store anyway. Next, we'll just pour this mixture right on top of the oats. And here's what it looks like at this point. This will go into an oven that has been preheated to 350 degrees, and then we'll just let it cook. You'll want to bake it for about 25 to 30 minutes or until the liquid has set in the middle and it's no longer runny when you jiggle or tilt the pan. And that's it. You may want to let it cool slightly, or if you're hungry like I am this morning, you'll go ahead and dish some right up. You could eat it just like this, or I often like to add a dollop of Greek yogurt to the top. I've also poured a little oat milk on the top as well, particularly when I'm reheating it the next day, as this helps to kind of steam it and keep it nice and moist when you're reheating it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos on mindfulness and journaling. You can also visit www.jnbliving.com to explore other ideas for more joyful, mindful, and balanced living, including our new J&B Living Journal. Thanks for watching.